Israel. So we're gonna bring out some indications to let you know what to be aware of and what to look out for. Because you need to understand and know who's trying to keep you from doing the work, who's trying to keep you from being great. So we definitely want to talk about that, expound on that a little bit. We're gonna go into some Shabbat scriptures, of course, because today is the Shabbat, and the brothers also got a topic they want to bring out. What's the name of the topic, Arayah?
Arms and niggas on the side.
Right. Arms and Negroes on the sideline, right? Or like we want to say, we are those so-called pronounce it, nigger. We call ourselves, just not with the hard ER. So y'all know what we're talking about, you know what I'm saying? It's not like us, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Those are the topics of the little round table that we having right now, man.
That's right.
And Shabbat Shalom to the nation. Nothing but love, man. We trying to do this for HOI Shot. We trying to bring as many of our people to the fold. That's what it's all about. Never vainglory, never cloud chasing, none of that stuff that these fake Israelites that we're about to talk to you about be doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what it is.
Yeah, definitely. We got to talk about that, man. Fake Israelites. When we come into this truth. First and foremost, we know our people are Israelites by blood, right? But a lot of our people have Greek or Babylonian or American, Western state of mind. Our fake Israelites. You know what I'm saying? We're not talking about the two ponytail, broad cap, broad cup hat wearing people over there in the state of Israel that's dying from melanoma.
Right, begging for their sideburns.
Yeah, we're not talking about that. You know what I'm saying? Right, we're talking about the actual bloodline Israelites that's supposed to come into the truth, but they don't give up their wicked ways. We're talking about those kind of fake Israelites. God? Right, beware of those kind.
Right, that's pretty simple.
Bring it on.
It's only right that we start off with this. This is and somebody else get you one of your. This Galatians 2:4, primary precept to the unaware is brought in, who came in privily to spy out our liberties, which we have in Christ Jesus, or in Hamashiach, that they might bring us into bondage, right? Mm-hmm. So when we read this precept, the Lord is letting us know that in addition to, we already understand that Scripture says that all Israel is not Israel, right? Because we know that there's 2/3 of our people who would never come into this knowledge, never will ever be able to accept it, right? But they're Israelites by nationality, but Israelite by chosen from the Most High to do His work, to keep His laws. They'll never be that. Right? But some of those Israelites, some of them who have a zeal, who want to serve the Most High, they come in amongst us, especially around these times when our feast days is up, and they come in as an Israelite during the time where we traveling all around the country non-stop. We in all the cities, you know what I'm saying? And it's an uptime for us. And they coming in at those times and they get bit by that bug. But then when the feasting and the touring slows down and it's time to really get boots to the ground in our respective cities, a lot of people true colors come out. Because now it's about them classrooms really, it's about the books, you know what I'm saying, the studying, you know what I'm saying, a lot of counseling going on. And Brother Spirits is really being tried too, because you done took part in Day of Atonement, right? You done did Passover, you done did Tabernacles by this point. Like, and these are some of the feast days that you can't afford to be partaking in these and then trying to fake the funk with the Most High, right? Because even if the brothers don't see it right then and there, the Most High see exactly what you're doing. And He's going to expose it. He's going to put it on some brother's spirit to just kind of hide that extra eye at the right time to catch you through something that can be perceived as off. And even if that brother don't say it to you personally, for the sake of not trying to condemn you, he'll bring it to another brother, that 2 or more witness, right? Brothers, I ain't saying you're guilty of it, but this is what I see. Watch it, right? See if you see the same thing. If it becomes unanimous, your brother get brought into a council, right?
Right.
Because you gotta ask yourself, if you constantly being pulled into council after council, right? Rebuke after rebuke, you might want to ask yourself, is the Lord really dealing with you?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You might be one of those Israel who ain't really Israel.
Right.
The Lord might have woke you up to who you are, because it may be somebody that you gonna be responsible for bringing into this truth. But if you can't get past the rebukes, you can't get past the corrections and counsels and all of that, the Lord still got you going the hell off.
This ain't for you.
This might not be for you, but more so than that, we have to acknowledge that. Those of us who he did call into this, those of us who are actually, you know what I'm saying, active duty,
Have to acknowledge it.
right? Because brothers put that friendship thing, we came in together. If he leave, I leave type spirit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You can't build your salvation around somebody else's. And brothers coming in, like the Lord, like the scripture says, man, false brethren, unaware. Not because we too slow to peep it. No, you said you're an Israelite, we gave you the benefit of the doubt.
Right.
So because of that, we're unaware of your true intentions.
Right.
Come to camp. Oh yeah, my baby got a doctor's appointment at 9 o'clock tonight. I ain't gonna be able to make it. Right? Stuff like that. Brothers is paying attention to it. Your inconsistency. Right? You're not showing up to the camps. You got an excuse all the time. You ain't doing none of the pull-ups. You ain't laboring with the brothers. Like, we don't just get together doing Friday and Saturday. We don't just get together doing feast days and high holy days. Like, Israel is a community, and we be together all through the months, all through the weeks. But these brothers, they don't. The more time you spend around us that's active duty, the more we able to try and engage, we can engage your spirit like the Lord told us to try every spirit.
Right.
So if you there, we able to try that spirit. And these are the things that's gonna eventually show itself, you know what I'm saying, in your spirit. But if you hiding and you know you're not really trying to be 100% in like you're supposed to, you're not gonna wanna be at the gatherings all the time, because you hiding from brothers.
Right.
And that's the bad part, because you know, the brothers that's really going full force, 10 toes down, you know, they see, you know, the Lord gonna make sure they can see everything around them. Because even like with Joshua, you know, he told, oh, everybody come on in and drink some water. So those who drunk with their head down and those who drunk with their head up, they see more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So those who 10 toes, Gideons. Yeah, and so those who 10 toes down, they have a certain spirit. You know what I'm saying? They have a spirit about the Bible. They have a spirit about, you know, how to go towards the Lord. But my point is that if you're not about this truth and you want to keep looking in, I don't want to look in to somebody, you know, who's passing out money to his people. You know what I'm saying? I need money passed to all of us. I don't want to see everybody just going up to the next level and I'm not going.
Right.
I don't want to see that. Now, I don't mind seeing that if I'm about it and I'm making progress. I ain't trying to be on the same level or none of that. I just want to be about it and make progress. But if I'm not about it, what kind of spirit is you that want to look in and just see people doing better? And you don't want to do better.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
It should actually light, like the elder often says a lot of the times, should give you a righteous envy. Right? It should actually light a fire up underneath you to constantly improve. Right? So when a person is really kind of sitting up on the sidelines, and they kind of take their head off the plow, and they're constantly being reproved about it and being inquired about the situation, that's going to raise a problem. Real quick, let me get this precept, right? This book of Proverbs, chapter 29, verse 1. He that being often reproved, hardeneth his neck, shall suddenly be destroyed.
Right.
And that without remedy, meaning that nothing can help them outside of that destruction. Right? And that's talking about we all know what, like, Israel is rough around the edges in general. But this is talking about one specific situation that you're always being reproved about, and you're never learning your lesson. I can see if, say for example, there's a man that often comes to the camp, but he struggles with the cigarette demon, right? We know that there is a practicality when it comes to breaking that demon, right? So he goes from 2 packs a day to 1 pack a day, 1 pack a day to a half a pack a day, a half a pack a day to no packs.
No pack.
Right? Some people do it cold turkey, right? But if you constantly being told about that same demon and we seeing you double packed up in a pocket because it pop out, then you're not really applying yourself. And that becomes a problem in the sight of the Most High God. Not only up in the sight of the Most High God, but it's grievous and it's vexation to the Holy Spirit. Right? So brothers gotta really be careful when just hearken to reproof. That is key.
So like read Proverbs 1:7. Proverbs 1:7, right? Because we say it started out with Nadim, and and then the uncle over here, he landed me back on it, and you kind of brought it home. People messing up in the truth, mess up after mess up, and then it's like you don't want no progress, right? Because that's what Uncle touched upon. You don't want no progress. You messing up time and time again. It's not like you're doing a righteous man fall 7 times. You know what I'm saying? You get back up. You know what I'm saying? Did you messing up? You don't want no progress. You just there just to be there. Like, hey, she called me, pass me a drink, pass me a plate. Right. Where's the sisters? You know what I'm saying?
That's the intro.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you in this truth for all the wrong reasons. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And when it's time for you to go through counseling, now when you brought it home with, it's time for you to go through counseling, be corrected. You don't want the correction though.
Right.
You want everything in the truth besides the structure, the discipline, like Solomon said, the discipline of the Holy Spirit, the structure, the eldership, right? A lot of brothers, they see things go on in the truth, and then they blame the elders. Like, it ain't the elders' fault. It's y'all niggas' fault.
It's like the person that you didn't listen to.
Same elders you want to listen to.
Right. That's
You
why
wanted
they
to
lose
move.
the eldership too.
Yeah, they refuse eldership. They refuse eldership. They want to start a cult. A lot of these guys are cultish. Like a real cult, like a scary cult. Like when I say go, it don't matter.
Right.
Yaju ass niggas, they make fun of Yaju, but they act like Yaju on the low.
Right.
They don't want no elders. They want no correction. You can't tell them nothing. They feel like they can out debate God.
Right.
And they're just so good at debating. They feel like they can out debate God if they want to. You know what I'm saying? Right? And these are people that don't want no correction, and they falsely in the truth because they want to be in the truth on the wrong things. They want the clout.
Right.
They definitely want Eve.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? They want the money. You know what I'm saying? They want everything carnal about the truth. But what they don't want is discipline, correction, direction, and eldership. Let me get Proverbs 1:7.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 1 and verse number 7.
Bring it out.
The fear of Yahweh is the beginning of knowledge.
The fear of Yahweh is the beginning of knowledge. And Yahweh's not going to reach from the heavens and tell you, you are wrong, my son. He's not going to do that.
Right.
He's going to send brothers at you. He's going to put the spirit on brothers to correct you. He's going to put the spirit on the elders. He's put over you to correct you. Right? So that's what Yahweh's going to do. You got to hearken. Even if you don't agree with the elder is saying at the time, hearken unto it. Think about it. Meditate on it. Like, okay, maybe there's something I got to work on. I'm going to work on it to the best of my ability. Salaki Yahweh, I'm going to work on it to the best of my ability. Be humble. A lot of these guys ain't humble. Read that again, King.
The fear of Yahweh is the beginning of knowledge.
Come on.
But fools despise wisdom and instruction.
But fools despise what?
Wisdom
and instruction. I'm trying to give you wisdom, despising it. I'm trying to give you instruction, despising it. Who is this nigga, man?
Right.
Who's this nigga to talk to me, man? Man, fuck this nigga.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
It goes,
you know what I'm saying?
they
Like,
hate
you know, like, man, whatever, man. Only difference between him is he just found out the truth first, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wish I could out precept him. You know what I'm saying? Like, dudes in their mind, they think like this. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just respecting order, respecting eldership, they want to be an individual, like, or they want to start their own congregation where they're the boss and nobody can tell them nothing, so they can sleep with all the damn women, right? Take all the damn money and take all the fame for themselves.
Very cultish.
Very cultish.
Very cultish.
Very cultish. Very, very, and it's scary. When I see it, it gets scary, and I fall back from people like that. Like, I don't want to really deal with you like that because I see the signs of it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I try to talk to you about it, and you don't want to hear it because guess what? You don't want no eldership. You understand? So that kind of thing, a lot of people gotta look out for those who are fake Israelites.
Well, yeah, I want to say one more thing. Yeah, and so it's like when you fall back, you really don't want it around.
Right.
Because if you have a group, you don't want that person inside your group.
Right.
Because he would poison the group.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
A little leaven is the whole.
Yeah. And so I got that black beard. He would poison the group, and as he poisoned the group, you will start to see your groups change. Well, I came in and this was going on. You get rid of him, and new people come in, it's not going on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so they would affect the new and the old.
Right.
Because they'll push you more to work, trying to make sure everybody stay on point. And then when new people come in, they would affect them. So the best thing to do is get rid of them. That's why I say, something wrong with you if you want to look in and don't want to be a part. Then when they cut you, you got to get back to looking in. It's something about just being close to you, but not being a part of you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
around.
You can be there, but don't feel that connect. You don't feel that connection. It's easy for you to want to make that if it's a them like a brother. It's a brothers type thing. When really, it's a spirit thing.
Right.
Your spirit is holding you back because you ain't right. You're looking at all these brothers who hanging together, loving on each other according to these scriptures,
Right.
laughing, joking, and literally got the olive branch extended to you.
Right.
But your spirit won't let you fall in line with the body like it's supposed to because you still dealing with some issues that you apparently haven't came to terms with.
Right.
You know what that spirit is called though? In a nutshell, it's called the procrastination spirit, right? Because you don't want to fully dive in. You playing double dutch, and you can't find the right time to really jump in. But keep in mind, like when you join brothers, you're not 100% like correct. You're not 100% right? But you join brothers so that righteous influence can take over you. I'm gonna give you a precept, right? And just follow me with this precept, right? Because it's gonna say something, but I'm gonna tell you literally why I'm breaking this out, right? This is the book of Sirach, chapter 13, verse number 1. He that toucheth pitch shall be defiled therewith, and he that hath fellowship with a proud man shall be like unto him. I brought this out because you are who you hang around. If you have righteous influence around you, then you'll be, you could say, defiled with righteousness. Right?
Whatever you are defiled with will start to turn around.
Exactly.
Filter out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But if you stay around proud people, then what are you gonna be?
You're gonna stay in that spirit of
and you're gonna wax worse even.
Right.
But so really the truth, as much as people kind of want to be cooked up, no. This truth is not about friends. You got a precept that talks about Noah, Job, and Daniel, who had to look out for their own souls and their own righteousness.
Right.
And save their own souls. You have to do that same thing. It's not about everybody else, but it's about right from wrong. Scripture versus wickedness. You literally have to use the Bible, like I told brothers before, right? You have to use the Bible to literally check off all the attributes of the wicked. You have to use it as a checklist on how to improve yourself, because the Bible is a manual on how to be the righteousness of the earth and how to be a ruling class citizen, literally in righteousness. Because when the righteous are in rulership, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear the rule, everybody is mourning. And so when everybody is mourning, that's not good for you or for the body that you're part of. So what does that tell you? You have to evaluate yourself. You have to see what you have to do to make yourself better up in this truth. All of us want our white hairs, right? I use white hairs as an example because when Christ was praying, he was transfiguring. He was kind of getting his Dragon Ball Z on. You know what I'm saying? Literally, all of us want our white hair, and the white hair represents kind of righteousness. All of us want that, so we got to work hard to literally achieve that.
Right. Let me get Sirach chapter 10, verse 13. I saw you had your hand up, because a lot of this is just pride, and a lot of these people are proud for no reason. They're proud for reasons that come out of the world. You know what I'm saying? Like they haven't done enough in the truth to even be proud.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
They haven't really done enough work to even be proud.
With you or the benefit or expense of you, they gonna do their agenda. You know what I'm saying? Keep going, kid.
But if thou have nothing, he will forsake thee.
Because he coming to use you.
Right.
That's it be what it is, what it is.
Right.
Some
Right.
I just show you I got this
all
preset.
that social media stuff that's going on right now anyway. That's what it's really about. My brain bigger than yours.
Right.
And people's
Big
uses,
I'm the Lord's favorite.
yeah, and people's uses are kind of more, they're more than just monetary gain or for a meal.
Right.
It could be for just the sake of saying that I helped this brother. You know, everybody know this brother, but I did this, I did that. Didn't the Lord say it in Matthew chapter 6, in regards to your homes, don't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing?
Right.
You're not even supposed to mention that. You're not supposed to mention what you did for the next brother, or,
Right.
you know, and even in that can go in regards to forgiving a brother.
Right.
You're not supposed to air out his line and be like, oh, he did this and I forgave him for this. You're not supposed to do that according to Christ. And Christ, keep in mind, Christ's word is law. It is law. Deuteronomy 18:18 tells you that plainly. Whoever does not go according to that, go ahead. Precept that.
That's Sirach 19. It says, whether it be to friend or foe, talk not of other men's lives.
Right.
And if thou canst without offense, reveal them not.
Let's see that. So that's going directly into what's being talked about now. Don't talk about other men's lives. Yeah, you done did this and that for that brother, but that's supposed to be between you and the Most High God.
Right.
That's not supposed to be for the sake of you trying to boast yourself up to be this overly mighty man because you helped the mighty man. That's not what it is.
Okay, where's the precept that says run the social media and do a damn whole hour and a half rebuke video on another brother?
Let's see that.
Because all that's for monetary gain.
3 hours.
Right? And when they have their little ignorant moments that even Esau try to throw you some protection and shade on your bogus act towards your brother by not allowing the video to show, you know what they do? They gonna get with a more grievous Edomite and open up a Patreon account and say, I'm gonna push this niggerdom, whether y'all want it or not. And that's filthy lucre sake.
Right.
All you niggas who are monetized on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook in regards to this word of the Lord, you niggas ain't no different than the Christian pastor who locked the door and tell the people they can't get out unless they put something in the collection plate.
Right.
Don't do everything for views.
That's what it's all about, bro.
That is what it's all about.
Who can they debate?
I got a problem.
Yeah,
I got a problem with Op, and I ain't said a word to him.
Right.
The first time he found out I got beef with him is because we've been on a 24-hour damn marathon rebuking him videos all over social media.
Right.
That's how he found out.
No Matthew 18.
None whatsoever.
Not at all. It's like they never heard of it.
No, yeah.
You know what I'm
Let me
saying?
give you one precept to go with this.
No. It's like I don't have to see you to know you stole something from me.
Right.
I had to be in the house. I know my house, and every time me and you know something, that come up missing.
Right.
If me and you know that that's there, if all of us know that that's there, it never come up missing. But it takes one person, me and him, to know, and it always come up missing.
Right.
I ain't got to. Most people, thieves are like this. They so reverent in their thieving, and just like a person, I ain't got to know you sinning.
Right.
They think they're stealing something you don't pay attention to.
Right.
And then so it's just like say we all together, and so one of us start falling off. I ain't got to know you sinning. I can just tell by the way you're falling off that you're doing something, that you're sinning.
Right.
I ain't got to see you steal from me to know you stole from me. I ain't got to know that you're sinning, but I can tell by your pattern.
So back to the point we were saying earlier, That comes with laboring with brothers.
That's gonna relate.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
If you got something off about if your intentions as Galatians 2 and 4 and Jude 1 and 4 alludes to, if you that false brother that's trying to be around us for gain,
Right.
you're not gonna be around us like that. You're only gonna try to show up when you think it's a beneficial and an opportune time.
Right. It benefits you.
You see what I'm saying? But brothers who laboring with each other, I know every last one of y'all brothers' spiritual energy. Right. When we come together, you can't come around me and try to what's wrong with you, man? You know what I'm saying? Because you forcing it. You trying not to be noticed. So that within itself is a telltale sign. I know your genuine energy when you come into a room, brother. Right. We've been laboring together for too long for me not to know. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing like when you think like that, you would think Matthew 18, right? Because it's like, how am I gonna let you come and say something off about a brother that I label with? I know that brother. Right. He would really have to be going the hell off. You know what I'm saying? Right. From like, you know what I'm saying? And I'll see something.
Right. You gotta see something for the believer.
Right. I'll see something.
Yeah, just one precept to go with that. Because again, my brothers with the Facebook, the internet, and what they do, they're not doing it for the Lord. They're doing it for men.
And I got to appreciate that. I've been holding
They're doing it to try to please men. So this is the book of Galatians, chapter 1 and verse number 10. For do I now persuade men or God? Or do I seek to please men? For if I yet please men, I should not be the servant of Christ. That's what people are doing, bro. They out there trying to seek to persuade men. They want to gain followers. They want to invite you to their new camp. They want you to come now with them or get to their new channel. It's all of them envious reasons, bro. It's never righteousness. It's like, because I want to use you to big me up now.
Right. My status is higher than yours.
I want to use you to build mine. So that's why you got to act in the right spirit. And they clearly ain't Christ saying, if you're doing it like that, man, you're not worthy enough to be a follower of Christ. Because you trying to please men and not the Father. So what are you doing?
Did they call the elders on the phone, the people involved, and counsel it out that way? No. He ran to his social media sites, and he was talking to his super chat fans, and of course your fans, without even hearing the whole story, gonna ride with you over him. His fans is on his page doing the same thing.
You see how bad.
And then neither one of them got the whole story.
But you see how that forces people into sin? That's why you must be careful up in this walk. Because you can literally make people partake in sin. And now because you're a master of many things, then now all that blood is upon your hands. But you leading the sheep off. Real quick, let me grab a precept real quick. Let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 1 Timothy chapter 4 and verse number 15. I love this precept. Then I'm passing the whole problem because he's an old. You said 1 Timothy. Right? Well, yeah. What's the precept? 1 Corinthians chapter 5. First Timothy chapter 5. 4 and 15. 4 and 15.
Which one? Timothy or
1 Timothy chapter 4 and verse number 15.
It's the book of 1 Timothy chapter 4 and verse number 15. Meditate upon these things. Give thyself wholly to them, that thy property may appear to all.
So literally by being an example, the magnificence of the Lord is going to appear to all men, right? You don't have to be a super try-hard, right, to try to boost yourself and boast yourself up to be this thing that you're actually not, and you really faking the funk, right? Keep reading.
Come on. Verse 16. Take heed unto thyself and unto the doctrine. Continue in them, for in doing this thou shalt both save thyself and them that hear thee.
So think about it like this. If you continue it up in the doctrine and being an example to all men can save yourself and souls of many, then you not being an example can destroy yourself and destroy the souls of many.
Right.
Now the Lord then placed you personally responsible for all the damage that's going on within the nation that He loves.
Right.
You have to think about it like that. So being an example is very important. Being a righteous example at that is very important. Right? So when walking up in this truth, you live, and being an example is not just you wearing a garment that trains 30 feet behind you or anything. No, it's the way that you walk, the way that you move as a king or even a princess of the Most High God, Yahweh. Right?
I've been holding this precept. You just brought it back home. So I'm precepting that now. That 1 Timothy 4:15 with Philemon 1:6. That the communication of thy faith may become effectual by the acknowledging of every good thing which is in you in Christ Jesus, right? Key word in that subject is effectual. Your works is supposed to have an effect on your brother, as the elder called it, that righteous envy. Brothers are supposed to look at how mighty you move and be praying for the Lord to put that same spiritual energy up on you. When you talking with your brothers and they bragging about how the Lord has blessed them with this, that, and the third, what state of mind was you in? Like how long did you fast for? What precepts was you reading over? Like everything that you do as being a light in this truth is supposed to affect someone else who's truly, sincerely trying to serve the Lord. We're all a walking lesson.
Right.
Every brother is supposed to look at the next brother that you label with and supposed to be able to try to draw some type of inspiration from him.
Energy, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is why we gotta do what? Confess our faults to one another. This is why we have to bear one another's burdens. I never know that I can overcome that if I don't share what I'm struggling with and give another brother an opportunity to say, I just was going through that same thing. This is how I dealt with it.
Right. Being transparent helps you kill off.
You don't know what your experience, how it can help somebody else.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's the whole point of some people think that their problem is unique
Exclusive to them.
And then they go back to that because instead of them, you know what I'm saying, coming to their brothers and hey, maybe we can help you with some precepts, uplift your spirits, maybe help you anything physically, financially, whatever. Instead of doing that, man, ain't nobody gonna understand it, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody gonna get it, you know what I'm saying? Like I ain't gonna say nothing to the brother, you know what I'm saying? Instead of that, that's how they feel. Or even, they might get so frustrated and just be like, man, y'all ain't gonna understand my problem, you know what I'm saying? They might get frustrated and just say something like that, like, I'm going through so much, like, say you getting on them about something else, and they like, man, see, if you knew what I was going through, I don't know what you're going, but if I knew, then maybe.
I'll be talking to you different.
Yeah, maybe this interaction would be different.
Yeah.
But, that's the thing. Everybody want to hold it in. Nigga, why you holding it in? You know what I'm saying? Even in psychology, they tell you don't do that.
Right.
Even in the world, the psychology tell you don't do that.
Right.
Don't bother everything in until you fucking go crazy. You're in the truth now.
It's like,
Go ahead.
Can run get the First John chapter 4, verse number 1.
You took my precept.
It's
That's the
John
spirit.
chapter 4, verse 1.
Yeah, break it out.
It says, Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits whether they are of God, because many false prophets are gone out into the world.
So we obviously know that Israel is going rapidly now. And with that being going rapidly, there's going to be a lot of false believers in this truth. Coming this bad boy for their personal gains. They want to, grab money, this and that, do this and that. They want the women to do this and that. They want the lifestyle, man.
Right.
Trying to get the vlogs, doing this and that. Hey, you got to be able to try the spirit, Because like we can all say it, man, you can really tell. When you really into this bad boy, when you really studying, doing your due diligence of the word, you can really tell a person that's in the spirit or doing the truth for the realness of it, that's trying to keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High to the best of their ability, and a person that just lukewarm in this bad boy. It ain't for the lifestyle. It could be something simple as, hey, brother, hey, when was the last time you read? What was the last chapter you read, brother? Oh man, you know, Ephesians. Dang, brother, you been in Ephesians for 7 months. You can't tell. You can really see it.
All right.
That's why you gotta make sure about progress in the spirit.
God, man.
You gotta be able to prove it, man.
You're right. And
Yes.
I was just gonna say with what you said in regards to when people being up in it for the money. Don't like there might be people be like, oh, it's not people up in it for money, right? But we see it plain and simple, right? Let me give you a real clean example. If you're on Facebook, you know you get them people that send you the friend request. You might accept it because this could be new fruit. Hey, you know I do logos,
Right.
or you receive like a weird message like, yeah, thank you for the ad. Like, come on now, we know. Or you see it in their little bio. So we know that people be up in it for the money. It's like the brother said, right? Like Israel is growing rampantly. They see a community being built. You know what I'm saying? And that's prophecy. It is what it is. The gospel is going to be spread to the four corners of the earth. It's going to happen, but we also have to be prepared for those people that are crept in unawares. And the people that's crept in unawares, that's not saying, oh, if you're not a part of my congregation, I don't rock with you.
Right.
Like some of these wicked Negroes say, right? That's off.
Right.
That I'm gonna say it one more time. That's off as hell, actually. Right. We rock with a lot of brothers that are not a part of our specific congregation. We love them brothers, and our brothers literally went to war for us and us for them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so when we talk about these people that are acting in like manner, no, these are people that can possibly be up on the inside, right? That are not in these things for the right reasons, like old Par said. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I want to say. Is that, good. That's what I want to say. You know, being an Israelite, it ain't for no weak niggas.
Right.
Being an Israelite is for soldiers. And this is why God chose the remnant. You know, we want a lot of people to come in. We want people to go at it and get with it and do the work for the Lord. But the Lord don't want that either.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
These people cannot be in here. That's why he's peeping in, because he's scared to get in. He see this warfare going on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He can lose with his fringes. If he get caught with fringes on, if they smell, if he go to job and he punch in, he'll be called to the office and he'll be like, "Did you have the fringes on this weekend?" You're fired. You know what I'm saying? That's how niggas act. The boss ain't got to see him. These niggas so scared that I catch them outside sometimes. I go to the store. What's up, Art? What's up, Art? What's up? Man, my clothes was dirty, man. I'm just okay. The clothes was dirty last week too, though. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm trying to say is that we got to realize that we are in a battle that ain't nobody really ready to get in and fight for. And we got to realize that this is not an easy battle for people. I'm not just remember the scriptures, because if God didn't give you the scriptures, you're gonna struggle with that. Right. I can't have nobody watching my back. He's struggling with scriptures. Hold on, I study my damn self. I don't need you studying with me. You know what I'm saying? And so we got to be on point. I got to know who you are. I got to know, what position you can play. And you got to be down with this. If I'm in camp, you got to be there. You know what I'm saying? Is there any time where I'm not camping, you there by yourself? You can just pick it up the base?
Every brother that we labor with diligently, from conversations that we didn't have, these is brothers that don't make no excuses about the scriptures. Like, we read them, the Lord give us the understanding, and no matter what type of inconsistency it calls to our personal worldly life, brothers roll with what the scriptures say.
Right.
We got a problem with people that look like us, talk like us, dress like us, but yet they have a problem when the scriptures start conflicting with their personal way of living and their choices that they make.
Their opinions.
Right.
Right.
What they want to do, their intentions.
Right? Because these are the people that, like, the Lord put this in, He makes it plain and simple for us to tell the difference. We have to stop being over righteous to the point that when the Lord is showing you something, our benefit of the doubt spirit kicks in.
Right.
That I gotta be a little bit more long suffering and a little bit more patient. When the Lord is showing you
Clear as day.
clear as day,
Drop
you
it.
second guessing it.
Right.
And then when and I say you second guessing it because He's giving you a spiritual eye to see in this spiritual war that we're fighting, and you're allowing your carnal brain, which works for the spiritual left hand side,
Right.
to talk your spiritual brain out of seeing what it's seeing.
And then so what you're saying is that'll make the Lord upset because you're doubting Him.
You are.
Because He gave you something.
You think you're doing all this work for nothing?
Right.
All the work that we do is so that we can one day get our spiritual powers. There are some we able to have and use right now. It's just that when brothers think about spiritual power, they want to be able to zap niggas and all that.
Right.
That's
man.
Darth Vader choke the storm.
You know what I'm saying? Brothers want to telekinesisly drop dead Esau and just have a wave of them foul. No. Just to be able to spiritually see with the spiritual eye and hear.
It's all.
That's a spiritual gift.
Let me say it just a little bit more perfect for you, right? Discernment is a spiritual power.
Exactly.
It is. And when you read what Paul said that he has given people to Satan that they might learn not to blaspheme.
Say that again.
That might be a dark saying to people.
No, because it's the same thing the Lord showed you that with Job when He gave Job
You have
over to
to-
Satan.
And sometimes, look, and that goes in with, sometimes you gotta put a brother up on timeout. He doing too much, put his ass up in timeout. Separate him. That he may learn not to blaspheme. But when he learned his lesson, accept your brother back. That's the spirit in the way you move in regards to the prodigal son. You know what I'm saying? You hate to see him go, but you love to see him come back.
But it was a time when Israel was like it was supposed to be, and to be put outside of that congregation, it affected you bad.
Right.
Yeah.
Shame.
We're not in that place that when we put a brother outside the body or you suspended for 90 days, that niggas don't care. Is he really at home fasting for them 90 days, praying? No.
So
He just gave him a free vacation.
It's like, especially when you could just get on the phone and be like, well, you know, forget them. I'm down with the new camp.
Right.
I am now warrior of malice and revenge. Like,
Of Israel.
Because that's literally what you're doing. Like, we got in a position, but then we struggle because, once again, we talked about this before. What is our disciplinarian protocol? Like, we don't have one to put that fear of the Lord in people. Maybe it's not our place to put that fear in them because the Lord gonna call who He gonna call. Right. And when your spirit resonates with His word, the fear is gonna be there automatically. But we got people amongst us, man, that's running rampant and they doing things that's unbecoming of Israelites. And and maybe that's the way the Lord wanted, so that Esau can feel threatened by him and come on and bring on the Jacob's trouble. But then for me, I say, those of us that are moving the way the Spirit have us moving, we need to be establishing these type of understandings that, when we in pre-Jacob's trouble now. These are the pre-stages of it. It starts off with the failure to communicate, then the war. With everything that the Lord got Trump doing, He pissing these heathens off. And for some reason, they looking at it as if it's in the favor of us. So that'll be the flame under their asses, you know what I'm saying, to make them turn and want to start getting on bull crap with Israel. You feel what I'm saying? So, where do we meet up at? What is the protocol? right? How do we secure it? These are the things that we gotta do. But to even do that, we gotta make sure that the people that's amongst us ain't gonna go back and be like, well, I ain't gonna tell you that if you go, 5 blocks that way and make a left, you might see a building with a green door.
Right.
It could be a bunch of Israelites back there with guns and food and all type of stuff. I don't know what you gonna find back there.
Right. See that?
And that's why when they when a person starts falling off so long, you have to cut them off. Right. It's because it's for the healthy of your.
The multitude.
Right. That's why that topic is called "Beware of Fake Israelites," because it's not that they're not an Israelite by blood; it's that they're not doing what they're supposed to do.
Exactly.
And those are the people that's gonna be pointing you out, talking about, oh yeah, them cats are around the corner. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say nothing, but they wear the little funny things on the bottom of their shirt. Yeah, that's what it is. You know what I mean? Those gonna be the brothers that's gonna point you out. Why you keep trying to keep them around? Because you know what I'm saying? They
You think you wearing them down with all these precepts you constantly talking. They sit there because wherever we are, we invoke the Spirit of the Lord, wherever we gather at.
Right.
I don't care, heathen, whoever, when he come into this presence of this energy, he's going to be overtaken by the Spirit of the Lord. And he'll agree. He'll bow down. He'll kiss the boot. He'll do all the above. Jake will sit there and agree with every scripture you say, but the moment he walk away, his spirit is like, whoa, what the heck did y'all just do to me? And he going right back into nigga man, full-fledged. I don't get excited about them. Brothers be like, man, there might be another fruit. I'll be like, man, nigga, they ain't nothing. You want to excite me? Show up the next camp, the next camp, the next camp, the next camp, and then end up on the Zoom classes. That's how you excite me. Jump in the swimming pool and don't get wet.
Well, one thing is that all Israel is not Israel, and we got to realize that 2/3 are going to be destroyed. So sometimes, as much as we love a brother, and we want this brother to come on, brother, you can't push him and carry him and put him on his back and walk. You got to want it, and unfortunately, there's some of Israel going to be destroyed. So we got to try to walk the faith and iron sharpen iron.
Yeah.
Give each other up, the ones that want this walk.
So right there, what precept is that? So the fool is heavier than lead.
That's all right. I got you.
And I got a precept after.
And I'm holding 3 after you. Because it's crazy outside.
What is heavier than lead? And what is the name thereof but a fool?
Right. What's heavier than lead? You know what I'm saying? Lead is a heavy thing, especially you have like a bunch of it.
Yeah.
Lead is a heavy thing, right? They'll make a bulletproof vest out of what? Teflon or lead, right? So, what's heavier than lead? A fool. You can't carry a fool. You want to drag this fool around with you. You want to, you're gonna be righteous like me, but that ain't up to you. That's up to the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes the Most High don't want him. And now you over here trying to drag around a fool, and all he doing is holding you back.
Dead weight.
Vexation to your spirit.
Even verse 15 speaks to that too. Verse 15. Sand and salt in a mass of iron is easier to bear than a man without understanding.
Can you read that again?
Sand and salt.
Sand, S-A-N-D.
Yeah. Sand and salt and a mass of iron is easier to bear than a man without understanding. So picking up, trying to carry sand, a bag of salt, either in your hand or the big bag, or iron.
Back in training with some sand in your bag, some salt, some iron. You see what
That's easy to pick up.
Right. Think about trying to run through sand.
Right.
Look, and
iron footed. You know what I'm saying?
Iron, a lot of times we imagine iron up in a physical form, like a sword or a hammer.
It's molten when it's hot.
Yeah, when it's molten and when it's hot. But iron comes in grains.
Right.
That means it is really hard to control those things up in your hands.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So one is easier to control than the other. Or basically what it's saying is that it's likened unto that. is likened unto that chaos.
Like you got a better chance of picking up a handful of sand and walking through the whole beach than trying to carry
Every single grain of
That goes to show you that what he's trying to say is that you can lose your soul by dealing with it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because it's like they're impossible to carry. So you know, for you to keep learning, you can't keep learning and somebody pulling you backwards. You got to keep learning with those who you build with. That's what they call building. You know what I'm saying? Because you keep turning back like Lot's wife did. What happened to her? She turned into that same sand of the salt.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And she didn't get to the damn metal piece.
So you carrying that like
Not only that, you gotta remember all of those are inanimate objects unless you move.
Right.
So that's dead weight. You know what I'm saying? That's a physical challenge.
right.
When you're dealing with a fool, that's a physical and a spiritual and a mental. That's why he's more heavy. He covers more bases than that sand. I can pick that sand up and subdue it by putting it in a bag.
Right.
I can't put this nigga in his mouth in a bag.
And
He don't tally the cost. He wherever he go, he has no shame about his acts. He don't think before he speak.
Right.
And we live in a world where when you roll with somebody like that, that's your man.
That's your man.
Your people looking at you like,
Yeah, on the
That's
block.
on your tag.
On the block, it's like,
You
yo,
niggas like this around
whose
here.
man is this?
yeah, whose man is this? Because somebody ready to do something to them.
I would do something to the guy that brung me.
That's why the first thing they say,
Whose
whose
man
man
is
is this?
I'm gonna do something to the guy that brung me, and then I'm gonna get him.
Now, if you got some respect amongst your people, they might be like, come on, bro. That's your man? That's your man?
You know, you can do better than
If
that.
you go talk to your man, then they know you got respect for what they trying to, get across.
Right. Now, be somebody who don't got that type of status. Oh, that's your man?
Cause I'm gonna tell
They gonna
you.
whoop your man and you.
Blood on your hands, literally.
Right. Depending on what he done.
You can't say, oh man, that's my mistake. Hold on, man, we staked out. Everybody made too many mistakes.
Right.
We ain't got no mistakes in us, and you brought in a mistake.
Because Israel deal with respect in person. Like, you can say that, and they'll be, and like, you'll try to charge that to me. Depending on the grievousness of that offense, no, I'm not gonna charge it to you.
Right.
Because he learns no lesson.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We can't charge it to you and then he just basically get off scot-free. He gotta know that he's wrong. And if this is somebody that's potentially gonna be a part of, then this is his early treatment to correction. He gotta learn that this is when you're around us, this is how we operate. That's the trial of the spirit. Now that can take a year.
And that's no other state of our flock.
Because it's not trying the spirit as we are connected right now. You gotta you gotta try the spirit of every brother individually. You gotta put some communication time in with your brothers when it's convenient. You know what I'm saying? Be it a feast day, a gathering, pull up, travel, whatever. Talk with your brothers. We see it like Eid, for example. Feast day, and they little huddles. Brothers is
And we don't like that.
Brothers is all over the place because we usually talking on the phone. So when we finally in a position to where we can physically, you know what I'm saying, deal with each other, ain't nobody in no little group huddles blocked off. Man, if we could, we'll all just be in one spot, just going in.
Right. Hey, Salak, you got a quick precept speaking about that one spot and go in. Let's get 1 Samuel chapter 10 and verse 9. It's going back up. It's a good precept to use, like what Blackbeard was talking about. Brothers coming in. Like, oh man, you Israelites, man, y'all kill. Hey, brother, you drive by Israelites? Yeah, man. Hey, man, keep it going. Right?
You say Samuel now?
Yeah, 1 Samuel 10 and verse 9.
You ever get someone be like, walk past you like Shabbat Shalom, brother.
Yeah, Shabbat Shalom. Right. Well,
Never see that brother again.
why he got a fork in his hand? Shabbat Shalom, brother. Keep it strong, brother. Swine eating devil.
Right.
1 Samuel 10 and 9. What we got? Bring it up.
The book of 1 Samuel, chapter 10, and verse number 9. And it was so that when he had turned his back to go from Samuel,
Hey, there's a lot of back turning. And this is Saul turning his back on Samuel. Right, read on.
God gave him another heart.
And that's the Lord. I can give you a righteous or a wicked heart. You know?
And all those signs came to pass that day.
And this is all happening in one day, right? You know?
And when they came thither to the hill, behold, a company of prophets met him.
Hold on. It said a company of prophets. That's a camp. And they met Saul. Mind you, he's the king of Israel, right? You know?
And the Spirit of God came upon him, and he prophesied among them.
That's Saul. So he bringing out scriptures with the camps. He bringing out precepts. He got understanding. You know?
And it came to pass, when all that knew him before time saw that, behold, he prophesied among the prophets. Then the people said one to another, what is this that is come unto the son of Kish? Is Saul also among the prophets?
Now, why did they ask that question? Because there's different lots. There's different positions. There's a lot and there's an occupation for a prophet, and there's a lot of occupation for a king. Now, there's certain kings that can be both, like King David. Right? He was a king, he was a prophet, and he was a priest. Saul was just a king. So the people's looking at him, wait, he's a prophet too? He's amongst the prophets, he's amongst the Israelites, he's amongst the camp. He understands precepts. And you know how many times we've seen that camp? Brother knows certain things, and he say certain words. Like, nigga, so like, we like, bro, you was listening, you was watching video.
Hey, you supposed to be out here with us.
Right.
You know something.
You know something. Who learned you that?
Who learned you that, boy?
Right? Who learned you that? Right? You know?
And one of the same place answered and said, but who is their father? Therefore, it became a proverb. Is Saul also among the prophets?
And you see that?
They turned that man into a proverb.
That's mockery all day long.
I might just start saying that.
Because in other words, you basically saying, ain't no way this imbecile, this thing is no prophet.
Right. It's
That's how often Moses is.
That's what I heard you start.
He wanted them.
Because you can ask too, like, who is the father?
Right.
Who are you talking to? Like, who made him a prophet?
Like, what camp you with? Who's your elder? Who's your leader? How you know this precept? Who you studying with? Where you went to? Here and there, this and that.
YouTube, University.
Right. So if they even questioning the king of Israel, is he among the prophets? They question the king of Israel. Is he in the camp? Is he studying? Is he teaching? Is he bringing out the words? Is he sharp with the sword?
They keeping the law.
Is he keeping the law?
They know the state of those they laboring with.
Right. And mind you, in the verse it showed, it says the Lord can change his heart.
Right.
See what I'm saying? Yeah.
You know, another thing though, man, is you know, we want to hold, you know, brothers and sisters to certain standards and try to help them grow and become, you know, whoever they meant to become in this truth. But, you know, like what we talking about is what we can observe when brothers and sisters come around us.
Right.
But what about this new age, this new wave of people that can just get on the internet and they can just act like they're really doing the righteous acts as much as you, and then just talk a good game, you know what I'm saying, say that they're really keeping these commandments, they're really doing the work as much as you, and then all of a sudden they got followers and they can tell the followers, oh yeah, we don't need no elders. You know, we don't need no leaders. We don't need these brothers that really been out there dodging bullets, getting physical with the people, going from state to state, doing the work. We don't need these people that actually woke us up in the first place. We don't need them. We can do better than them. What about this wave of people that we can't really even observe whether they really in this thing? You know what I'm saying? But there's so many people listening to them and following. Well, they think there's so many people listening to them and following them. Because it's really only a couple hundred, to be honest, making the sheep go astray. Because when I say beware of fake Israelites, that's what I'm talking about. The wolves in sheep clothing that ain't proving nothing for real, just running their mouth. They can debate, they can do this, they're charismatic, right? But you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, they're gonna be responsible for a lot of blood. Now we know that's gonna be on them.
Right.
But we sitting around witnessing it. We're witnesses to watching what these people are doing. Like, it's like they won't listen to no counsel. Like kind of like what Nadeem was talking about, right? They you know what I'm saying? It's like, what is the disciplinary action for these people? You see what I'm saying? Like, all they gonna do is just keep going out over and over again. They won't listen. It's like, are they really? Should we call them Israelites? Should we call them like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, they are Israelites by blood, but, and they say they're keeping the commandments, but we don't know if they got on fringes while they sit over there. They sit on the couch scratching their head.
Yeah, if you ain't with a body, who's keeping account of your works?
Right.
Being a part of the body gives a physical account of your works by way of your brothers being witnesses on that day of judgment to your works. So if you sitting there being an individual like keyboard Israelite, and you ain't out here physically doing work, but yet you study making videos, you popping up on people damn debates, you know what I'm saying? And here's the thing, don't insult the rest of our intelligence who really study. We could tell you've been on 20 debates and you use the same precepts and argument each time.
Right.
Once you ran your course of precepts that you know, to the extent of that debate, you kind of put your hand over your mouth, or you all of a sudden your screen fade to black and you no longer a part of it, and you done pull other brothers into the argument to take over, and you gone.
Right.
Right. So like, real quick, I'm gonna bring out a precept. Just a question that Yeshaya asked, right? Basically, like, in regards to the repercussions for those people. Me personally, I don't think that you can give repercussions to those people. Why do I say that? Because the Lord has already made everything manifest in the way that He needs it to. Everybody is not meant to have this word or to teach this word, right? Some people are simply meant to literally deceive those that are meant to have those words, or to deceive those that are meant to be deceived. More perfectly said, right? So let's go to the book of Jude, actually, real quick. Right? This is the book of Jude, chapter 1 and verse number 5. When everybody got to say time.
And I got 2 precepts myself.
Come. I got one more after this. Will you read it? No, I got it. Right? This is the book of Jude, chapter 1 and verse number 5. It says, I will therefore put you in remembrance, though you once knew this, how the Lord, in having saved the people out of the land of Egypt, after destroying them that believed not. Right? So basically, the Lord had to put people, literally from the beginning, He ordained people to literally be destroyed. That was not going to believe on Him. There's nothing that we can do personally to put certain repercussions on people that don't believe in the Most High God. But rather, Christ is going to do it. We read that in the book of 2nd Ezra chapter 7 and verse number 33 on down, where He says that basically righteousness shall be a force. Right? One of my newly found favorite precepts, right, from camp. Right? But proceeding to the book of Sirach chapter 9. Right? Sirach chapter 9, I'm going to start from verse number 13. It says, keep thee far from the men that have power to kill. Mm-hmm. Kill is not only just talking about your life, but it can talk about your name and your reputation. Mm-hmm. Right? There's people that are literally set out there by the Most High God, right, to literally test you and try you. Mm-hmm. Right? Not only that, but it can have you sit down for a while. Stay away from those people. Right? Reading on, it says, so shalt thou doubt the fear of death. And if thou come unto him, make no fault, lest he take away thy life presently. He could take away, like when it says take away your life, it does not always mean your breath from you. Right? It could literally talk about your reputation, your name, as the scriptures talk about eloquently in regards to the Most High God.
Your current state of being.
Right.
Well, I mean, you was living high on the hog. Now, your life as you knew it is over. Look at your boy Diddy. Look at your boy R. Kelly. And so and all them. Their life was taken away from them.
Right. It says, remember that thou goest in the midst of snares. Snares is a trap, right? It says, and that thou walkest upon the battlements of the city. Meaning that these people are sent here to literally wage war against you and your reputation.
Now double back, that word snare, I'm glad you wrote it down like that, because that snare literally is talking about a person.
It's a snare if you walk through
Right.
it.
Yeah, don't
If
think
you avoid it, it's not a snare unto you no more.
we're not talking about some
Right.
Bear
rope
trap.
tied in a
Right.
bear
Yeah,
trap,
a bear
leaves
trap.
over a type snare. No, a person who's literally
They become a trap on you.
setting you up to backdoor you. You know what I'm
Right.
saying, or something. They become the physical snare, and that could be your mama, your children. You know what I mean? Your husband, your wife.
But it could also be people up in this truth that claim to be up in this truth, right?
Exactly.
Right? That literally walk in the ways that man sees as righteousness rather than the Most High God.
Right.
That's one way to avoid them. But can we literally say repercussions? No, the Lord just gave us the wisdom to avoid them people to the best of our ability. Now, reading on is going to tell us how to further avoid them people, right? It says, verse number 14, as near as thou canst, guess at thy neighbor, meaning figure this man out. Look at him, be observant, right? Figure him out, right? As near as thou canst, right? Guess at thy neighbor and consult with the wise. That's why you need eldership. That's why you need leadership. Literally, to consult with the wise unto what's going on with this person. See, keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, yeah, it seems or so, but the way that this brother is moving is specifically out of pride. 9 times out of 10, that's what the wise, the eldership and the leadership is going to tell you.
Right.
That's why you need eldership and leadership.